In FIA Formula 2, the pit stop is mandatory into the race one. It's one of the biggest aspects of the race strategy.
Pit stops are one of the most important things in the strategy. You know, before the race, in the meetings, you talk about the strategy of the race, how to approach the race, and where you're starting. You know, which is the safest option, and which is the best option to attack or defend, depending where you start.
So yeah, there are obviously two strategies you can pick: prime option or option prime. That means a soft tire first, and then the hard one, or the other way around. And obviously, with those decisions you've taken before, the pit stop will change. So if you go option prime, you will stop a bit earlier, go then for a longer stint at the end, you know, with low fuel and whatever. And then if you do it maybe the other way around, so prime option, you will box a lot later, but then have a better car towards the end with the softer tires. But it's very hard, you know. I mean, the engineers are doing a great job in finding the right strategy there. And
so basically, like I said, there's a term called pit window open, and that pit window open is basically be ready to come in the box, whether it's this lap or the next lap or even the next lap after. Usually by sector 3, not so much into the end of sector 3 because you need to pit. They tell you to box, and then obviously as a driver you say copy, box, box. The term mostly used in everywhere and everyone knows.
The pit entry is very important. Obviously you can win a lot of time if you go on the brakes late and turn on the pit limiter. But there's a risk that you overshoot and then you have a drive-through or penalty. So it's very important to be on target and on, you know, the speed that you have to be on when you cross the line.
They arrive from the pit lane at 60 kph, which is a limited speed, and they have to maneuver the car from the fast lane into that pit stop position and be as precise as they can be for the mechanic to be able to change the wheel easily. So this is the first step. The car stops into position. Then the two mechanics at the front and the rear lift the car using what we call jacks. Then the mechanics on each wheel are removing the old tires and putting back the new tires. At the signal of the mechanics, the jacks drop down the car at the front and the rear, and the lollipop man, which is in charge to check if everybody did his job correctly, can check the fast lane, be sure that there is nobody coming, and release the car safely to the track.
As soon as the green light comes on, that means it's safe to go out. You drop the clutch and then manage, and then you just go out and you basically try to have not as much wheel spin as you know, just save some tires again, and then you deactivate the pit limiter and exit. In the moment, I would say their emotions are more forced a bit down because obviously you're trying to do everything right, no rules infringements or anything, so you're trying to do everything correct and quick. And basically you do one step after the other in your head. There's not such thing that you think, okay, now I have to do this, now I have to do that. It's like really just when the moment comes, you do it. I don't really think of anything particular because normally if you think, you're a bit too late.
It goes a lot into a process of quick thinking, and experience comes in, and that's why you train consistently, just so when you're in that moment you don't freeze or you don't crack under pressure, right? And then after that you're back to racing again. But you know, in that span of 20-30 seconds, it's almost as important as the whole race basically.
It's really important to do the pit stop in a safe way in a race because you can lose a lot of time. The problem is you have to be quick as well. So there's a fine margin that you have to find about how much speed do I take in to stop at the right position, not to overshoot or to be too short at the end.
In the pit stop itself, it's around, a good one is around 5, and then it could go up to 6. I mean, I think we try to be in that 5.5 to 6.5 window consistently.
We have a very, very good crew that is able to change the tires in very little time only. I mean, we're I think only 3 seconds off F1, and to do that with only 6 persons, it's very incredible, and they're doing a great job.
Usually a good pit stop in Formula 2 is around 5 seconds. In comparison, the Formula 1 are doing pit stops in less than 3 seconds, which can seem a lot faster. But when you are comparing the number of mechanics working on the wheels, In Formula 1, they have 12 persons acting directly on the wheels. In Formula 2, there are only 4 mechanics. So to gain 2 seconds, you need to triple the number of mechanics on the wheel.
This sport, a lot of people say it's just single sport. You fight for yourself, which is in a way true, but you have such a big team behind you, and I mean, they count on you and you count on them. And so there's such a huge amount of trust that is going on, during a pit stop, and during also, I mean, if the guys work on the car, you're obviously trusting them your lives basically, and I trust them fully. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this sport, and wouldn't be in this team, frankly. And so I'm very happy that I have this trust. And even if, I mean, something goes wrong in a pit stop, let's say the gun jams or whatever, the team is practicing so much for it, and also those procedures, that they're so professional in it and do it anyways in the same amount of speed, if not a few tenths slower.